So the question is commitment, character, and competence. Which of these three is most important? And in many climes, we will jump at competence, right? But if you ask me, between these three giant C's, commitment, character, and competence, which would I pick first? I would pick character. And I will tell you why. Character is something that is hard to teach. Competence is easier to teach. Commitment can be built. When the person has character, it means the person has what it takes to see virtue. So if I employ a person with character, if I marry a person with character, that person can identify virtue. And a person with character can easily commit to virtue because there is the fundamental ingredient of character. But there are many people who are very competent but void of character. And those are the people that destroy marriages or destroy companies. They are very good at what they do, but have very terrible behavior. Some of them are dishonest, some of them are arrogant, some of them are not teachable, but they are very competent. I would rather work with a person who has good behavior, who is trusted, who can be taught, but doesn't know the job. Interestingly, in our companies, from construction to the hotel, to the bakery, to the restaurant, almost everyone on the management team for all the companies learned on the job, because I was more character driven than competence driven. Once the character is there, there is something to hold with which you can mold anything you want to mold. If a person is committed to you but lacks character, anywhere you try to hold them, it may cut your hand. Right? Yeah. If a person has competence and lacks character and commitment, anywhere you try to hold them as well, it will very likely cut your hand. But when a person has character but doesn't have competence or commitment, there's a place to hold them, and then you can mold them. One of the ways to see this clearer is to look at it from the side of marriage, because sometimes it's not wrong to learn on the job. So you can become competent on the job. And 98% of people who get married are getting married for the first time. So they have never been married before. There's no experience. You learn on the job. So if you're to marry a husband, and I ask you, do you want a competent husband or a committed husband or a good husband that has character? Which will you pick? Naturally, you pick the one with the character and hope that when you marry him, he can develop what it takes to become a good husband. He's a good man. He has character as a good man, but may not have all the qualities of a husband. But because the character is there, he can build the competence of becoming a husband. Does it make sense? So also with jobs, with partnerships, with management, and any other aspect of your life, relationship-wise, I would always pick character over competence. I think that I can teach competence. I can teach a person how to know the job, whether it's the job of a parent, the job of a manager, the job of a wife or husband. I can teach competence. I can even drive commitment, because if commitment is something that you attract when you are drawn to something, when you are loving something, once you're becoming passionate about the vision, about virtue, or about a person, you become committed to them, right? So that is easy to drive. If I have the character and I can give you something that you love enough, you respect enough, eventually you become committed enough. But how do I build character where character is extinct? It's possible to generate good character, but it's a way more difficult job. And since it's a conversation of comparisons, I will always go for character over commitment and competence. But all three are very critical to any form of relationship: character, competence, and commitment.